See this 1965 Chevy pickup? We got a dual master cylinder booster. We got an LS swap 5.7 in there, aluminum radiator. We went ahead and powder coated our inner fenders and such to get the engine bay looking pretty nice. We've got brand new windshield, brand new rubber. We got our upholstery redone, new carpeting, Dakota digital dash. We got a brand new roof, all painted up looking nice, as is the interior. We went ahead and swapped it from a small window to a big window. We chopped the frame. We chopped our bed right here. We got brand new bedwood inside. We got it slammed on airbags, of course, and we've got disc brakes up front. Now, 18 days ago, this was a bone stock, really rusty, rat-infested truck. The rust on the roof was so bad you could literally put your hands right up inside it. The bone stock height, drum brakes, single reservoir master cylinder, you get a leak anywhere in the line and you are dead. It was a long bed, small window, the upholstery was just atrocious. The bedwood was completely missing altogether. It had a big ugly bumper on the back that some people actually like. 3 on the tree, manual transmission, 292, straight 6 engine. All right, so this week on our Chop, Drop, and LS Swap, we're going to be showing you how to put the cab back on, get your doors on, we get the interior in, carpeting and things like that. It's really going to start to look like a truck by the end of this episode, so you make sure you stay tuned. You hear? Okay, then when we lift up one end, we put that blanket underneath it. We lift it up at a 45-degree angle, and there's 2 different ways of doing it. You can have the frame off to the side, you can roll this up, you can roll the frame back in, or we just scooch it over a little bit more. And we just scooch it over at that 45-degree angle thing, and when we get right here, we scooch it as high as, or close as we can to that, and we bring it down nice and easy. And that's about that.
Why don't we put 3 on each side and walk it down the back of the...
You know, we can do that too. Yeah, I mean, if you get 4 people on the cab, you can do it that way too. 6 maybe because you're walking through the frame. It's another way of doing it, but 2 people can just tilt it up and etc. And that would show people how a minimum amount of people at home could do it.
Cool, have fun.
There you go. All right, go ahead and slide it on down here, even with our the upper. Okay, just a hair more and a little straighter. Okay, hair more. Okay, that's good. All right, so now, you know, it's probably going to slide better on the concrete than it is this blanket.
100%.
So, yeah, so we're going to let that slide. All right, so then all we're doing is we're 45 in this guy.
Okay. 45 or 90?
Nah, it's more than 45. You know, because once you hit that one balance, there's no weight, so to speak. Okay, so now you just slide it on over towards me. Oops, oops. Yeah, keep that tilt, keep that tilt. Up, 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 up. Okay, go up. All right, well, that's gonna be close enough, I guess. All right, coming on down.
That's on the back of the motor.
Okay, all right, you can back up right here.
There you go.
Yeah, a little uneven, okay. Coming on down then. I just need a 2x4 about that long. Yeah, that'd be all right. Just sit it on top of the jack, if you would. Cool. Let's see what we got over here. All right. So now we want to make sure that it's centered in there good. So get the bolts and see if you can line up the bolt with the whole kit and caboodle. I'm just trying to figure out my wires, where I'm going to put them. I normally like to hide it right behind the engine, so it's nice and clean. Put it over to the passenger side and get my ECU in the glove box. It's kind of nice. But the guy's got the cab on here for me now, so I'll be straightening that out in just a little bit. I'm also working on my brake booster at the same time. As soon as I get done with that, I'll be able to get my steering column set up. So, cuckoo. Get the proportioning valve on. So, trick to this is you just want to have it on there loosely, and then you have to hook up these really small brake lines right here. Because if you bolt it all up first, then you won't be able to get these guys connected.
Alright, is that there? Dude, we need a longer bolt, dude.
No,
Just
we
say
don't. Really? I've never done a top coat.
And you roll it around.
Mark it. So you don't get burrs.
And you mark it at 1.5.
See, there's just a lot of like stuff going on that has to do with putting the cab on,
Right.
that we couldn't do before. So when are we going to
okay.
get to actually installing interior bits here, Dave?
Oh man, I don't know. It might be tomorrow, eh? Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure yet because there's a bunch of little stuff in here. You know, we still got to hook up some sort of platform to hook the ECM to, and you know, we want to plug up all these holes in here before we put any carpeting in. Yeah, I got to think a little bit to figure it all out. Actually.
What are you doing, bro?
So I'm just getting the steering column in, so I just need you to kind of like hold it up in this general area where I get this bracket and get it situated and get my bolt started for that.
Okay. You want me to hold it from the outside or the
Yeah,
inside?
you'll have to kind of do like a thing like this here through the windshield, and I don't know about the bottom, but at least up through here, probably is what you want to do.
All right.
Find
what if-
somebody-
and
you
what-
might need to find somebody taller.
What are you trying to say?
No, they just might need to find somebody taller. So that was a pretty crazy day. We had only a couple of days left in the studio, so we had a lot of extra people come in and help, but you know what they say, more people, more problems.
We still have to turn it. We still have to turn it, bro. Yeah, where? You gotta turn it, yeah, that way. I don't know why Trevor was saying you guys are doing a good job. Go that way.
Okay, so we're gonna get this lined up right with those pads right there. We'll get it up as close to this as possible. We'll slowly bring it down, but then then we'll just have to lift it up a little bit and bring it that last bit. So we don't want to collapse this when we are getting it. So you know, you're gonna have to 45 it over, and then once this floor gets to about right here, we're gonna have to pick it up and bring it and center everything and bring it down. Capisci? Okay,
Anybody
going
want
on
to
down.
start doing that? Yeah. Okay. Are you grabbing center? Are you going center?
Somebody, yeah, there you go. All right, good deal.
And we'll start picking it up.
Yeah, good deal. All right, looking good, looking good. Yeah,
Can you see that hole there?
Yeah,
Dave?
I'm gonna dial it for that if I can.
Okay, hold on. Let me help you out.
Okay. Okay. All right. Oh, wow.
Is it in there?
Not yet. I gotta get something else here.
Pretty much sitting on this one. You need help here?
Good.
Yeah,
it's like throwing hot dogs down a hallway.
Gotta cut that rubber back down more. It's because it's at a little bit of an angle. It doesn't want to go down right here. Just wanted to hit on the sides. The size is good. It's good going down. It's just not.
You cut the rubber back more? As much as you can. As long as the bottom of the fill is inside the rubber, it's all matters.
Yeah, no, I mean this is in the rubber, not a problem. It's just
The
right
second
here.
stages? Usually the second lip doesn't make it in the rubber. No, seriously, it doesn't fit.
Yeah.
No, that
You're
just happened.
You're right.
Yeah, I've done this a few times.
What's happening over here, Dave?
Alright, it's getting our gauge cluster in. You got to put it in before you put your steering column all the way up. So that's coming along. You know, if you could find the ashtray for me and put this on, that'd be nice. Jamie, how many glass installations have you done here at Brothers?
3.
3, that's all?
Yeah.
I know you're in at least one of our other videos doing a lock bead. So, I think you're going to do the lock bead on this one?
Maybe.
Go home early, maybe?
Go home early?
Do you even work here?
No. Sure don't.
Let's work. All right, so we worked for about 2 hours trying to get this rear window in, and I don't know what it is, man. Just sometimes when you do them, they just pop right in, and sometimes they argue with you. Today, it's going to argue with me. But, so I'm just going to let this skip for a bit. When you run into something and it's just frustrating you too much, just go on to something else. So one of the things that we do is I like to put the carpet in as soon as possible. I coulda, woulda, shoulda laid this out in the sun too and get it really warm, and it helps get some of these wrinkles out from being packaged up, you know. You can see we got our gauge cluster in here. I got my steering column on there. We got our wiring for all of our Terminator X Max stuff here. So this looks really confusing at the minute, but I will make it look less confusing tomorrow. We got brake booster on. I got my brake lines mostly, just need a fitting. Got our inner fenders on, which I really don't recommend to do until you get your engine and running. You don't want to put on your windshields, your doors, or any of that stuff until you have your engine running. Again, this is a different deal. We got time limitations and we got to be kicking it, man. So we got this on here for now, but we're going to have to be working over these fenders when we're messing with a little bit of stuff here and there. That's the way the cookie crumbles, babies. All right, so the sun is down. It's like 10, 11 o'clock at night. We're still working on the truck, me and Steve, the production manager here. Everybody else has gone home, so I think I'm gonna go home too, and tomorrow morning we'll start it off nice and fresh, assuming I wake up. All right, so, you know, I thought we'd be driving by now, but we ain't. We got a lot of little things to do. We got Jose from New Look Auto Glass here giving us a hand because we are just a little bit tight on time and stuff. You know, when you get your cab on, you just feel like throwing your doors on and everything, but there are a lot of wires to hook up when you get all of your electronic stuff here, and I'm blending the old electrical system and the new electrical system together. You got to get your steering column all set up with your shaft and the whole 9 yards. You know, there's just a lot of little stuff. So don't be expect to be driving by Saturday. It's going to take a little bit of time to get all that stuff all set up, okay?
All right, so we're getting the lock bead put in the back seal right now. Jose's handling the other side, and we're almost done.
Oh, you're good. You're good. You're good right there. You're good, bro. Stay right there.
We're getting ready to put the door on. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that all these threads are nice and clean. If you painted your car, then it's going to have paint and primer in there. You got to make sure that those are clean, because when you get your door up here and you're trying to put the bolt in and it's not going in, you're going to be like, do I not have it lined up, or the thread's dirty? So if you have them cleaned before, then you know. Another thing that you can do that will really make it a lot easier to line your door up is you just get a couple of pieces of cardboard or what have you, something about 3/8 of an inch or so, maybe 1/4 inch, and you just put it right on the bottom. Now all I got to do is just put the door right on there and set it up, and it'll be pretty much you know, dialed in and set. I'll still have to tailor it a little bit more, but this will get me 90% of the way there first. So let's get this door and toss it up there. And okay, down a little bit, I think. All right. Now I left the latch in this just because we got a time delay, blah, 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 blah. So, and this lined up well on this side. Now normally I would not have the door rubber or the latch in when I was lining up my door because they'll fight with you and you won't be able to get it in the right spot. So if you're starting from scratch, take your striker plate off, make sure your rubber's not in there, get it all lined up without that stuff putting any stresses on it, then you can put it back on and everything should be just right. All right, so like I said last time, I always think I'm going to be done in a day or so. I am unreasonably overly optimistic all of the time, and I am wrong all the time on all my estimations. We were going to put the airbag and the pump in the cab just because of time constraints, but it is pretty noisy, so at the last minute I went ahead and put it at the very back right here because the noise from the pump is nice to have as far back as possible. And we thought we was going to have the interior all in with the seat and all that stuff, but it does take a bit of time to hook up all of the wires in there. You know, you got your ECM, your computer that's running your engine, you got your airbag set up here, and you got your gauge cluster. That takes a specific computer box that you have to hook all up and stuff. So there is quite a bit of things in here. So you really want to get all of this done before the seat is in, because it is a lot more trouble for you to put the seat in. Also, I recommend not to put the glass in until all this is done too, but again, time requirements aren't working with us on that. So now I can actually start to like load up my doors. I'm basically done with all this in here. And I can start loading up my door. So I'm going to start putting my trim on. When I put you have to put the trim on before you put this panel on. Now sometimes these things snap in, that's what these do, and sometimes they bolt in or some sort of therefore combination of the two. So I always recommend to put these on first. Nice little helpful handy hint on these is that one side you see there's no indentation. At the other side you see there is an indentation. That indentation always goes to the front of the door because you've got your trim and everything up here, and you just need a little bit of extra room when the door opens up. So that's your info for your day and a little helpful handy hint. We'll see you in a second, man. What you got going, Dave? I have my front and rear mixed up. I normally like to set up my paddle controls. This is my front, up is up and down is down, and I like to have my rear, so that's all. I was just setting it up a little nicer. So I'm going to turn the key all the way to ignition. Tell me if that turns off or anything. Yeah, okay. So that's real important. You have to check and make sure that you have electricity not only when the key is on, but when you hit it to start. You'll see how that one turned off. That is probably the most common problem when you're integrating the old wiring and the new wiring, is that you use the wrong wire to connect to for your computer system or your ignition system, and it's turning off when you're doing that last little bit. So make sure you check everything first. Just pour in a couple of quarts of coolant, let it sit for 5 minutes or so, then put in a couple of quarts, etc., etc. If you put the whole 2 gallons in there right now and you got a leak, the whole 2 gallons is going to leak out. So that's a good idea. So I'm just finishing up the last bit of my interior here. I'm ready to put my seat in. You can see it's painted. Everything's looking nice. I got my new dash in there and everything. I went ahead and replaced the rubber on the door, so it's going to be nice and quiet. So it's almost going to be like a brand new truck on the inside, but the outside's got that cool looking patina, man. 1 more minute and I'll be done. Yeah, so we just want to try to make sure that we don't drag it on the car too much, because sometimes it'll rip and tear. Ooh. Yeah.
Okay. The full extent right there?
Yeah. So what's your mind? It didn't come.
That was a bad idea. That's it in there.
Yep.
You know where his cameras are. And hold up.
Okay. Coming on down. All right. All right, you see this bolt right here? See how it's all pointy like that and it's longer? Order these and your seats will be a lot easier to install.
Well, we got a lot done this week and it is starting to look like a real truck. But next week, it's going to look like a complete truck. We're going to get that front sheet metal on there, get the airbags to go up and down, get the engine running and everything. So make sure that you subscribe so you can check all that stuff out. Now, if you get bored too, you can check out my channel. It's Automobile Restoration and Training. In those videos, I'm showing you all the stuff you don't get to see here. Potty and paint, color sand polish, I don't know, a lot of stuff. So check it out too. We'll see you guys next week, all right?